Hey, what's up everybody? Hammerheart Metal Reviews here. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm starting a brand new series where I'm going to look at what I consider some of the most criminally underrated bands in all of heavy metal. Going to kind of give like a retrospective look back at their career and why I think they're so underrated and why I think you should go listen to them if you've never heard of them. And today, this episode is going to be talking all about the band Heavy Load. This is some traditional heavy metal from the late 70s and mid 80s. They're from Sweden, arguably Sweden's first actual heavy metal band, like the first true heavy metal band from Sweden for sure. And they had a very huge impact on the Swedish scene as well as all of the European scene. They're formed in Stockholm, Sweden in 1976. It was just started as a trio. The main two dudes in the band are brothers. I'll probably mispronounce the last name because I don't speak Swedish, so I apologize to any Swedish viewers out there. But you have Ragnar Wahlqvist on vocals and lead guitar, and then his brother Styrbjörn Wahlqvist on drums. And the original lineup also featured a bass player named Dan Molen. So yeah, they're really one of the innovators of kind of a blend of Viking metal with traditional heavy metal. It's not, I wouldn't really even consider it Viking metal. It's definitely more just like straight ahead traditional heavy metal, but with some Viking themes for lyrics and album art and all that kind of stuff. If you've never heard these guys before, like I said, definitely very much just traditional heavy metal, be kind of in line. If you like any of the following bands, like Angel Witch, be similar in style to that, or like Manila Road, Cirith Ungol. If you've never heard any of those bands before, like a more modern example would be Visigoth, definitely very inspired by Heavy Load for sure. Maybe some old Manowar, kind of some similarities in there. But yeah, just like this band really knows how to write catchy ass choruses, and they'll just stick in your head for days. Like even if you've only listened to this a couple times, it's gonna get stuck in your head. And I just feel like this band needs more respect, needs more people listening to them. So that's kind of the purpose of this video. If you've never heard of them before, just kind of give you a rundown of what they're all about, what my favorite songs and albums are by them. Maybe you can go check them out. And yeah, let's just get into this. So their first album actually came out in 1978. It was called Full Speed at High Level. So on this album, they weren't necessarily like full out heavy metal yet. This was like, it's not a heavy sound, but very much like blues, heavy rock, very much influenced by bands like Deep Purple. You could kind of feel some like 70s Judas Priest vibes in there as well. They're still really developing their sound on this album. You could see the potential, definitely strong musicianship. The vocals on this album, it's all done by Ragnar Wahlqvist, and he wasn't quite polished yet. That's the one knock on this debut album. I could see some people maybe not liking this one as much because the vocals do kind of grate on you a little bit. He gets much better on subsequent albums, but it kind of holds this album back a little bit. In my opinion, this is the weakest of all of their output, but it's still, for a debut and for its time from the late 70s, it's still excellent. The riffs are great. Best songs on here: Son of the Northern Light, the title track Full Speed at High Level is great, Caroline's like a nice slower ballad, and yeah, all in all, just really great rhythm guitar riffs, and you could see the potential of where they were gonna go. So then it took a few years off before they put anything else out. They kind of had a little bit of a lineup change. In 1981, they put out their follow-up, which was just an EP, a 5-track EP titled Metal Conquest. They brought in a second guitarist, Eddie Malm. He was a very accomplished guitar player in Sweden. They brought him in to do some additional guitars and also some vocals as well. And he really helped grow the sound of this band. Dan Molen was out of the band on bass. They brought in a guy named Torbjorn Ragnejo, probably mispronouncing that. But yeah, so on this album, on this EP, only 5 tracks, but both Ragnar and Eddie Malm both do vocals. They kind of trade off song by song. And like even Ragnar's vocals are so much improved over the debut, and Eddie Malm's suit the band perfectly. Just sounds so fucking good. And this sound, from the debut to this, they got so much more powerful and just so much more a commanding sound. Like, it's just so much better. The solos got way better. The debut, you could tell that they were kind of just improvising solos, but here they seemed a little more thought out and just really much improved songwriting. Like I said, the vocals were just so much better. And there's even like just the vocal hooks in the choruses and stuff. They're amazing. They just stick in your head. It's so goddamn catchy. This one, they really started going in a more metal direction, which is a sign of things to come even more on subsequent albums. But yeah, everything about this EP compared to the debut is better. All 5 songs are great, so I'm not really going to pick favorites, but I'll name off the songs if you want to go check them out. You've got The Power, fucking awesome. Dark Night, Heavy Metal Heaven, Hey, and Heathens from the North. Absolutely probably one of the first pure like Viking metal themed songs. And even though they're just like traditional heavy metal, with these themes, you could kind of tell that they inspired later like black metal, even death metal, folk metal, anything that kind of had these Viking themes. They were definitely one of the first bands in 1981 to start writing songs about Vikings. Even on their debut, Son of the Northern Light, this is a little bit of Viking theme, but it really went full out on Metal Conquest and on subsequent stuff. And you just got to give credit here. Innovators of a genre, and they don't get enough credit for it at all. So following up that EP, they actually put out a single called Take Me Away. Just had 2 songs on there, Take Me Away and Trespasser. Take Me Away, really in line with the EP, really nice heavy main riff, catchy chorus, super enjoyable. Trespasser almost has like a thrashy riff. It's a heavier style track, but all in all, definitely a sign of things to come. And that is leading into one of their best, well, in my opinion, their best album from 1982, their second full-length, Death or Glory. I actually have a poster of that right over there, the Viking battling a polar bear. Pretty fucking awesome album art. And this one, wow, what a fucking landmark album. If you have never heard Heavy Load and have never heard Death or Glory, please go listen to it. If you've never heard the band, I'd say start with this album because it'll tell you whether you're going to like them or not. This is their peak, in my opinion, and it's just fucking awesome. So on this album, same lineup as on the EP, but actually they split vocal duties between Ragnar. He does most of the songs. I think 5 out of the 9 tracks are sung by him. His brother Steerborn actually does 2 songs. He does the lead vocals, and Eddie Malm does 2 songs lead vocals. So it's a really nice switch up, but they all fucking suit it so goddamn well. It's just awesome. There's so many hooks on this album, just underlying melodies to everything. So many like catchy choruses. They just really stick in your head. Like this is just a memorable as hell masterpiece traditional heavy metal album. Favorite tracks on here, Heavy Metal Angels in Metal and Leather. Absolutely awesome. They have a music video for that. Something New is awesome. Might for Right, Traveler, Daybreak Ecstasy. My favorite track on the album is probably The Guitar Is My Sword. Like this is just, all these songs are so energetic and just like passionate metal anthems. Like you can just sing along. Like, the guitar is my sword, I'll fight till I die. Rock and roll is my lord till my very last sigh. I'm not singing very good, but just an idea of that. Just super catchy choruses with great vocal hooks. They will stick in your head so long. Just anthem after anthem that you can sing along to. This album is absolutely awesome, like 9.5 out of 10. If you've never heard it, please go listen to it. After that, in the very next year, they put out another album, their third full-length, titled Stronger Than Evil from 1983. I actually have a patch of that one, probably hard to see on here, way down here, right there, Stronger Than Evil patch. This album, right on par with Death or Glory. Absolutely awesome. Songwriting is possibly even better. I prefer Death or Glory by a smidge, but this album is no joke, and you should not bypass it. Definitely fucking awesome. Vocal duties are shared between the 3 members again. There's actually the same lineup as on the last one, but they got a guest bass player for a couple tracks, which was actually Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy, so that's kind of cool. He just played bass on a couple tracks. And like I said, this really follows in the footsteps of the previous album. Same exact style. A lot of like metal anthems. Super catchy. Vocal hooks are still there. The solos and riffs are even better. And there's so much goddamn melody on this album. Lead off track, Run With The Devil. Absolutely awesome. The King. Roar of the North. Singing Swords. Dreaming is a really nice ballad. Free. My favorite track is probably the title track, Stronger Than Evil, another one that just sticks in your head. I am stronger than evil. I'm gonna change my world. So fucking good. So goddamn good. And the riffs are just amazing. Just absolutely awesome. This album is for sure like 9.2 out of 10. It's just a smidge below Death or Glory, but absolutely awesome. After that, in 1985, they did put out one more single called Monsters of the Night, which just had 2 tracks on there, Monsters of the Night and I'm Alive. Monsters of the Night was definitely going in like a more commercial, accessible direction. It's not my favorite song by them for sure. Maybe they were going for a radio hit. I don't feel like it's quite on the same level as the last couple albums. I'm Alive is a nice faster paced song that would have fit in on a different album. But yeah, then after that, they were just completely done. They broke up. They had started to write another album, but just never finished it, never recorded it. I think they had a couple demo songs recorded, but then they called it quits, and it's such a shame because they were just like hitting their peak with Death or Glory and Stronger Than Evil. Such good albums. I would have loved to hear what they did next. They did reunite in 2017 just for live shows. I'm not sure if they are going to be recording anything new or writing anything new. Not positive on that. I don't think Eddie Malin was part of these reunions, but the 2 brothers, and obviously got another guitar player, I would assume. I don't know if they're still going to tour. This was all pre-COVID that they had started up. I was really excited, hoping to maybe catch them at a show if they ever came to North America. But yeah, whether they're still going to be doing it post-COVID, I don't know. Can keep our fingers crossed, but hopefully. And anyways, yeah, I typically wouldn't do an album ranking when they only have like 3 full lengths, but since I'm already talking about it, I'll just go, my favorite album's Death or Glory. Smidge below that is Stronger Than Evil. EP Metal Conquest would be right below that. The debut would be last. But yeah, anyways, these are just my opinions as usual. I just really wanted to talk about Heavy Load, the absolutely awesome traditional heavy metal band. If you've never heard them, like I said, please do yourself a favor and go check out Death or Glory and Stronger Than Evil, because they are fucking classics that more people need to hear. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below. What's your favorite Heavy Load album? I'll be doing more videos like this, maybe some more underrated bands, not just from traditional heavy metal, but probably crossing all genres, so you can look forward to that. And anyways, until next time, Hammerheart Metal Reviews, out!